Now, the average Scot owns a whopping 1,800 quid's worth of clothes, true. And yet a third sit unloved in the back of the wardrobe. Now, things don't get much better when we decide to change things up. A third goes to landfill, and barely 1 in 10 items is reused. Clothing is disposable now. High street stores pile it high and sell it cheap, with new lines every week. Fast fashion has made us greedy and wasteful. And this week, a committee of MPs called for a massive rethink about how we consume clothes. Model and actress Eunice Olumide went to Edinburgh to see what you lot think. How will we look?
My name is Eunice Olumide and I am here in Edinburgh to ask the question, is there a price to pay for fast fashion? Now, in the UK, we are landfilling about 300,000 tonnes of textiles every year. I want to talk to people, find out if they know about the effects and the impacts of fast fashion and if we can be more sustainable. What do you think are the top 3 polluters on the planet?
Maybe transport is one thing.
Transport,
agriculture.
Plastic.
Plastic.
Yeah. Food waste.
Food waste.
There's another one though, isn't there? There's like one that a lot of people forget about. I can't remember it for the life of me right now.
Unsure on a third, I think.
Like clothing or something, maybe?
Clothing. The second biggest polluter on the planet is the fashion industry.
Is it really?
The fashion industry.
Whoa. That's something I've not heard about as often in the media.
I haven't heard about that as much, but it is something I was aware of, but I never thought it'd be that high up in the chain.
I throw away a lot of clothes.
Hey,
Oops.
world.
I had no idea that that was the case. A lot of people, it's ignorance, it's down to don't really want to know. They see a nice pair of jeans and they want to wear them, and no matter what.
A lot of people can only afford fast fashion because it's cheaper prices.
350,000 tonnes of clothes goes under the ground. How did you feel when I first told you that?
Probably guilty. It's quite scary that something we all take for granted and everything's so quick, cheap and easy, and to think that's that important.
I'm surprised that it's the second biggest polluter, but I don't know what can be done. Could buy less clothes?
Maybe if it was publicised more. That's the problem, I think. People are not aware.
It's pretty rubbish. We're just about to go shopping.
Not going to be a future if we don't do something about it now.
Maybe I should start walking around naked.
I like your style.
Eunice Olumide, who joined us now. Welcome, Eunice. Big hand, please. So fashion is the second biggest polluter. I have to say, news to me. Sounds like it was news to a lot of the people you talked to, and I think, judging by the reaction here, I saw some faces. People are quite surprised by this stat, aren't they?
I think so, unfortunately. I mean, it's something that I've been campaigning about for about 7 years, and I work with a number of different organisations. I'm really delighted to say that in Scotland we have actually been progressing in this area significantly, trying to promote the circular economy, recycling and upcycling. So I do think that this new report will do a lot to bring it to the attention to not only the wider public, but also to people in positions of power as well.
So when did you start noticing? 'Cause you said it's been the last 7 years you've been campaigning. So was it a change in the industry, do you think, that has caused this?
I don't think it's a change in the industry. I think, obviously, because I've worked in fashion my whole life, it's something that I've always been quite aware of. And I think from the public's perspective is quite shocking, actually. I think a lot of people are surprised that shops are allowed to operate in that way. So I definitely think it's something we need to do more about in terms of regulation. And I think that also large brands must take much more responsibility to make sure that things are clearly labelled so that customers coming into store understand where garments are coming from.
So, guys, when you're out shopping, say, in the high street, are you in any way aware of this chain of events? And does it affect the way that you buy clothes?
I'm usually pure raging because there's not enough pockets on women's clothing, so I never know where to put things. So I have to admit, it's not something I've paid too much of attention to because I'm still trying to get through the whole, we need pockets and we need better sizes, and why when you go to H&M or you're a different size in River Island. So I feel like there are many things to consider, but this is one more.
Mm-hmm. I think in recent years I've been conscious of just simply because there are options to recycle clothes, I'm feeling retrospectively guilty for the amount that must have gone in landfill prior to that. And I find myself wishing that the clothes that I like were more durable, so that I could just, because I'm almost like you know, that they say that Einstein wore the same clothes all the time, so he didn't have to think about it. There's a part of me wants to do that, and also that part of me doesn't want to have to go shopping for clothes.
Yes.
So if I could have a wardrobe that just would endure for about a decade, that would keep me happy.
It's like the Steve Jobs thing, isn't it? He always wore the black polo neck, didn't he, or roll neck? No, polo neck. And that was so he didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
But there's, I don't know. I don't buy that many clothes in shops these days because when I'm working on stage, I wear a suit, and I like suits, so I spend quite a lot of time on eBay, and to the extent that I've even bought myself a mannequin so I can sell on something that doesn't work. But because you get like a really nice like a designer suit that might cost £1,000 in a shop, you get for 150 quid on eBay. Wear it a few times, sell it on. I sort of have made a bit of a hobby of it. But I think when you go out onto the high street, and you know, going around the world as much as I do, and you go to so many every mall, and there's just thousands and thousands of pairs of jeans, trainers, and we have a culture of built-in obsolescence. It's not just clothes; it's washing machines. You used to be able to get them mended. Now you can't get into them. So similarly, we used to get our clothes mended, but that isn't going to keep H&M and Zara and all these people in profit. So they need you to be coming into their shops, buying. And as a result, all our town centres are now homogenised places selling us more and more of the same crap. And it's within their business plan that you throw away clothes, or not even throw them away, leave them in the back of your wardrobe.
I have to say, full disclosure, right, I don't have many kind of like weaknesses, right? I'm not big on food or drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't have a season ticket. I don't gamble. I haven't done heroin in years. But I do love my clothes, and I do love a bargain. And I will go to TK Maxx and Topshop. Am I the problem, Eunice? Is it me?
Well, actually, I've thought about this a lot. Now, nearly all of the clothes that I buy are from charity shops, or I make them myself, which I actually started to do because I was broke and come from train spotting country, aka Wester Hales.
That's where he gets his heroin.
Take me to your dealer. Yeah, so I do think that for me, it was actually a positive thing being able to recycle and upcycle. But at the same time, even I and everybody else has loads of clothing in their wardrobes that is made from synthetic fibres that they bought on the high street, and simply throwing them away is not going to deal with the problem. So if you do have synthetic clothes, which you really like to buy, the issue is not necessarily buying those clothes, the issue is how you dispose of them and how many times you wear those things. So it's all about ensuring that you wear that product or that piece of clothing as many times as possible. So what it means, especially for the ladies, is you can wear the same dress at least 5 times.
It's actually great news.
Or 30,
Great.
or 25, or 50.
But on the flip side, isn't there like designers are, you might know more about this, but designers burn their clothes after the season's over because they don't want their really fancy stuff being seen on common people. So there's a lot going on.
My wife's bought a couple of my suits, but I don't think there's anything to do with that. And the good news is, of course, that I've got someone to knit me a waistcoat and knit me some heroin, which is fantastic. Now, if you know anything about me and animals, you know that I'm not allowed anywhere near them. It's a legal thing. I can't go into it right now. Let's have a sound effect. Let's make it a big one. There you go. It's an entire farmyard. It's Animal of the Week. Everyone applaud! Yes, our very popular feature. Here is your first animal, and following on from the runaway success of Barbara Streisand's cloned Dugs last week, we have another celeb pet. Have a look. So that's Aussie actress Nicole Kidman's cat, Ginger, there. So why were Nicole Kidman's cats in the headlines this week? What do we think, panel? Why was wee Ginger there, Nicole Kidman's cat, in the headlines? Can you speculate? Do you know?
Well, they were reenacting the Verve song, The Drugs Don't Work, and they wanted to know what a cat in a bag looked like so that they could explain the lyrics of... Well, imagine to bring everything back to heroin this evening, which is delightful, but...
Like a cat in a bag waiting to drown.
Yes.
That cat's going down.
Schrodinger's cat, he's both in and outside the bag.
Oh, no. No, I like the idea of that, but sadly not. I'm actually on a diet just now, so I eat Schrodinger's Kit Kats. So, but then they're not. Chris, any theories?
I'm already starting to feel my sinuses go just looking at the cat because I'm spectacularly allergic to them. I also find them far less charming than everybody else on the planet.
And you know for a fact Nicole Kidman's cat will be even more allergenic than anyone else's because they'd have to be, wouldn't they, because she's showbiz. Well, let me answer.
In The Golden Compass, the film as well, she had her demon, her
demon,
spirit
yeah.
animal, which was... What was it?
What was it?
It was a monkey. It was an evil monkey, wasn't it? So, obviously, the evil monkey is now dressed as a cat and she's carrying it around in a bag.
I don't know about that. I'm sure it's the latest trends coming off the catwalk from Milan.
Yeah, the catwalk. Yeah. Well, none of you is right. The answer is she puts her cats in a bag and takes them walking with her. Not that bag.